Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Irvin, with another manga volume review. This is going to be on the first volume, Go-Toubun no Hanayome, which is the or one of the anime that will be airing in the winter series, winter lineup, winter whatever you want to call it, season. So, anyways, this is one that I heard from another YouTuber, and I started reading the manga itself to see if something I want to react to. I am trying to choose my reaction anime, and I ran into this one, and I'll give you my opinion right now. But before I continue, I do want to say a few things. If you haven't done so, subscribe to my channel, hit that bell button if you guys want to know when I go live or when I upload videos like this one. Secondly, if you haven't checked out my other volume reviews in my channel, you guys can check those out in my channel. I have different volume reviews, some that are completed, some that are just the first volume. So, and then lastly, guys, if you guys have not yet noticed, but will notice eventually. All my manga reviews usually have a spoiler alert. I will talk a little bit in detail. There's not so much surprise in this one. I guess there is, but you have been warned. Okay, so the story starts with the life of Uesugi. I'm not really sure how he pronounces his name, but we'll call him Uesugi. He is basically a very bright kid, and quickly found out that he's very special with his things. He orders a certain plate without the meat because he gets more rice that way. And he's just very, 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 very special in how he does things. He likes to save money. He's very smart, and he's overall antisocial. No one really talks to him. He sits by himself. One day he sits by himself, and someone ends up sitting with him. A girl that has a uniform from somewhere else, and this girl is Itsuki. Now Itsuki kind of tries to tell him, I'm here. You can go sit somewhere else. Itsuki says, you know what? I'm just gonna sit here because this is a table that I always sit in. And they kind of have a conversation. Usuki tells Itsuki that she, you know, he basically offends her appearance, which is leave it like that because I don't want to go too much detail. So he offends her appearance. She gets mad, and Uzuki just leaves. Anyways, Uzuki finally finds out that he's going to tutor a new student, and that he's going to be doing it for a very, very good amount of money. So something that his family needs to pay off a debt. So he ends up accepting and ends up finding out that Itsuki is one of the person that he needs to tutor. Now, why do I say that? Because eventually he finds out in chapter 1 that he needs to tutor 5 girls. Yes, there is 5 girls that are all twins. They all came from the same egg. So yeah, they all look alike. They look different because they are drawn different. In some have headphones, some have clips, but they're all the same. Basically, they look the same. So you have Itsuki, who is essentially his classmate, has had a bad experience with him already, and has that rivalry. But she's also very helpful, and she ends up helping him more than he knows that we expected really for her to do. Then you have Miku, which Miku was kind of a main character in this volume. He's the kind of the first girl that he tries to attract to being tutored. All these girls don't want to be tutored. It reminds me a lot of the Royal Tutor. That series where you had the princess that needed to be tutored by the royal tutor, and none of them wanted to be tutored. So the royal tutor had to go one by one and kind of have that individual connection with them, and eventually get them to want to be tutored. So same thing here, except it's flipped. Well, not really flipped. There's girls instead of guys. Anyways, Miku is the first one, and Uzuki finds out that she likes history, so he studies enough where he impresses her, and they kind of have a bond together. And there's also kind of like that underhanded story that Miku might be in love with Yusuki, or at least like him in some level. We have Yotsuna, and Yotsuna is she's kind of like the perky kind of girl. She's very dumb what she says. She oblivious in a lot of stuff. So You have her. You have Nino, which we don't know much about her other than her room was nasty. It was disgusting, and you couldn't really touch the floor. And then you have Ichika, and Ichika, she kind of thinks that Usuki is a perv because he was at one point trying to approach Itsuki, and he just kept trying to get to her, and he never got to her. Ichika also at one point drugs Usuki and sends him home. That's to the extreme of how she doesn't want to be tutored. So all these girls don't want to be tutored, and now Usuki has this basically obligation because he wants the money, and he has promised their dad that they will pass the grade. That he has his goal now for all five of them. And now all five of them also flunked the previous year, which is why they moved to a different school. So that's kind of in a nutshell the first volume and kind of the plot of the series. It's probably going to be a 24-minute episodes. I think the first chapter was like 50 pages. The second chapter was 40. The third chapter was 30. And then from there, it just kind of averaged at 30 pages. So it's a pretty lengthy chapters. So I'm going to assume that the series itself will be, long episodes or regular episodes of 24 minutes, 23 minutes. So, do I recommend it? You know what? I think this is going to be, like I said, very similar to Royal Tutor. And I did like Royal Tutor at the end of the day. It was slow in some areas, and I think this one's going to be the same way. It's going to be slow in some episodes. But this one adds more comedy to it. It's less dry comedy like Royal Tutor. Royal Tutor had a more dry comedy that I appreciated, but a lot of people did not. The other thing that this one has that people will probably enjoy is the etchiness aspect of it. There's not so much of it in it, at least in the manga, but I'm sure the anime will include more of it, just because of how the girls are drawn, and I'm going to assume that's what they're going to go with. So yeah, that's probably going to be a popular one this next season, and I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. Why not higher? It reminds me of another anime manga, so it's not unique. And the story itself, I really hope that these girls do not all fall in love with Yosuhi because it's going to be kind of weird. But as of right now, 6.5 out of 10. I'm not sure if I will review the next volume, but if I do, I will probably do it in a while. So, thank you guys for watching this video. If you haven't done so, subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for all the love and support, guys. And like always, don't be strangers.